So to start with the exhaust, it'd be best that you probably remove the header bolts first, and they're right there. They're just basically two 12mm nuts. They're fairly easy to get off. I didn't really have too much trouble getting them off. They're pretty straightforward to remove. And then the second thing is the O2 sensor. This one actually required a bit of hard wrenching, as I actually had to use my foot to kick it loose. But when it came loose, it was fairly easy. It's a 22mm nut there. So just remove that and put it out of the way, and then we can move on to the exhaust mounting bolts. And I believe there's just 3 mounting points, one up here and one here and one at the back here. And these are all 12mm bolts. So a correction here, the bottom two are 12mm and the top one is a 14. So just break those loose. And with those bolts removed, the exhaust just comes right off. And it's a pretty heavy unit here. It feels more like 15 pounds compared to the Leo Vince, which is roughly about 5 pounds. So there's a bit of weight savings there. And that's how she looks without the exhaust. So on with the header installation. Installing the header is a fairly straightforward deal. Just bolts up using the stock nuts. And then reattach the O2 sensor here. So keep the exhaust bolts a little bit loose so then you can adjust it later on in case things don't really line up that well. So like any of my exhaust installations, I'm going to fire it up without the muffler part, just to see how loud it sounds. Wow, it's pretty loud. So this is the exhaust hanger here, and the bag of hardware comes with a bunch of nuts and bolts. So the bigger bolt comes up here, mounts on the top here, goes through a washer and a spacer. And then there is a smaller bolt, a shorter one, goes onto the bottom of the hanger, and those just bolt up to the stock exhaust locations. The bolt up here is a 8mm, the one down here is a 6. And then these bolts here you can snug up nice and tight. And there's a bracket back here that's supplied also to attach to the rear fender to keep it from flopping around. This normally would bolt onto the exhaust as well. And you reuse the factory rubber grommet, and the bolts are provided in the kit. So finally comes the installation of the muffler itself. So you put your carbon fiber clamp on, and this is how the bolts go. You insert the bolt through this spacer here, or this washer rather, and then there's a spacer that goes to the back, and all of this bolts up to this hanger location, as so, and then just put your washer and nut. So with the exhaust all bolted up, you can go ahead and tighten all of the bolts. tighten up the O2 sensor, tighten up the header bolts, and any various bolts that you may have missed. So it's good to double and triple check them all before you go out for your first ride. So let's start it up. Let's see how it sounds like. And that's it. And I can comment on it and say it's actually not too much louder than the stock exhaust. It's still nice and quiet.